Hey guys, it's Kathleen Ems here, and today I'm going to be doing my character analysis on the Joker. Now, I had you all vote on who you wanted me to do my next character analysis on some time ago, and the Joker won by a landslide, but I decided to postpone it because, frankly, I was really intimidated at first because there are so many different comics that take different directions with the Joker. There's so many different animated series and TV series and movies that I didn't really know which route to take because I know everyone watching right now must have their favorite Joker. My favorite Joker was Mark Hamill growing up, who voiced the Joker in Batman the Animated Series and also in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, the games. But he was definitely my favorite Joker and the reason why I fell in love with Batman and fell in love with the Joker's character growing up. And there are so many other awesome Jokers to talk about. I mean, of course, Christopher Nolan's film, but I'm going to try to narrow it down to some of the more recent stories. I'm, of course, going to talk about all of the ones that I just now talked about, like animated series and Nolan's film. But one comic that I'm going to take most of my inspiration for in this video is Batman the Killing Joke. Now, there are many stories that the Joker tells of his past. Sometimes it involves an abusive father.
You know, my father used to beat me up pretty badly.
Or other times it's a disapproving wife or even betraying friends.
He told me things, secret things he never told anyone.
Was it his line about the abusive father? Or the one about the runaway mom? He's gained a lot of sympathy with that one.
We can't be certain which story is true because he's always changing the details. Joker states that he knows something awful happened to him in the past, but sometimes I remember it one way, sometimes another. If I'm going to have a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice. This explains Heath Ledger's famous dialogue line in The Dark Knight Rises. Each story that the Joker tells of how he got the scars is a little bit different, but all of his stories are disturbing. We can't trust the validity of any of these stories because the Joker is insane and sadistic, but we can be certain that something awful happened to him. It isn't clear what exactly happened, but we can be certain that something happened. In Batman the Killing Joke, one of Joker's possible origins is presented. The man that will become the Joker is an engineer who quit his job at a chemical company to become a stand-up comedian. When he fails miserably as a comedian, him and his pregnant wife fall on hard times. In order to support his family, the Joker agrees to commit a robbery at the plant he used to work at. While they are planning the crime, Joker finds out his wife has been killed in a household accident. The criminals force him to continue on with the plan despite this tragedy. At the plant, the criminals disguise Joker as the Red Hood. Once inside, these criminals are gunned down and the Joker is confronted by Batman. Terrified, he jumps into the chemicals plant's waste catch basin to escape him and is swept through the pipe leading to the outside. Once outside, he discovers that the chemicals have permanently bleached his skin white, stained his lips red, and dyed his hair bright green. This disfigurement, along with the man's misfortunes of that one day, drives him completely insane and marks the birth of the Joker. The Joker is one of the most dangerous villains out there. The chemicals that made him the Joker also made him extremely resistant to any type of toxins. They made him extremely durable. He can resist death and overcome death in situations that normal human beings would not be able to survive in. He's also extremely smart and cunning and charming. He's been able to convince people to join his cause and drive his therapist into insanity, like Harley Quinn. He handicapped Batgirl, aka Barbara, and he is not afraid of anything. The only way that Batman resolves the Joker conflict is of course puts him back into Arkham Asylum. And because the Joker is a great escape artist, he just escapes from Arkham Asylum again and again and again, because even if you invented new ways to confine him, he would find new ways to open those confinements. And I love that in Mad Love, he puts a flower on Harley's desk and escapes his cell, puts a flower on Harley's desk, and then goes back to his cell. Because for him, being in Arkham Asylum is like being on vacation. He gets to free food. He gets to be around his insane buddies and his other villain friends.
There's no escape, Joker.
Silly bat! I don't want to escape. I'm having way too much fun. I even have you here to keep a smile on my face.
Now, the Joker is also a practicing nihilist. The Joker is the textbook definition of a nihilist, which is a philosophical belief that life has no meaning. He's an existential nihilist because he believes that life is without objective meaning, purpose, or intrinsic value. He's also a moral nihilist because he believes that morality does not inherently exist, and that any established moral values are abstractly contrived. He's even a metaphysical nihilist because he believes reality should be psychologically negated by madness. Okay, I just threw a bunch of philosophy at you guys. Now time to translate all of that philosophical mumbo jumbo. Joker destroys because to him, this is the only logical thing to do. Assigning any value to your life or other people's lives is meaningless because life has no meaning. The only logical thing to do in his opinion is to speed up the process of inevitable destruction by bringing ruin to as much as he can.
I just wanted to bring down your grim facade and for once let you see the world as I see it, giggling in a corner and bleeding.
His dream would literally be to watch the world burn, to convert everyone to his way of life, to make everyone see that life is meaningless, and then have everyone destroy each other and literally watch the world burn and tear itself apart. And that is why he is so terrifying, because he has no fear, no compassion, and he literally derives pleasure from destroying.
Knock, knock, Puddin'. Say hello to your new, improved Harley Quinn.
Harley wasn't an angel, by any means. She actually, in, I think, Mad Love, I think that's the comic it comes from, she flirted her way through school and through her very prestigious job. So that's why she got a job at Arkham Asylum, because she flirted her way through it. When she met the Joker, whether or not she realized it before, she had an urge in her for dangerous men, which is not uncommon in this day and age. There's even dating sites for girls that are interested in men that are in prison. Like, this is definitely fetishized. I mean, it might be frowned upon, but it is out there. And so I think that's part of the reason why I like what she says, how she's drawn to extreme personalities.
I was surprised you wanted to intern here at Arkham.
Well, I've always had an attraction for extreme personalities. They're more exciting, more challenging.
And more high profile?
You can't deny there's an element of glamour to these super criminals.
I'll warn you right now. These are hardcore psychotics. If you're thinking about cashing in on them by writing a tell-all book, think again. They'd eat a novice like you for breakfast.
When she met the Joker, they hit it off instantaneously because Harley was already manipulative and able to hold her own. I mean, she is not necessarily the damsel in distress. Like, she can handle her own. She really can. But then she met the Joker and realized that he is the manipulative man that she has been waiting for. I think what Harley accomplishes, I could make a whole video about how much I love Harley Quinn. I mean, everyone loves Harley Quinn. You have to be insane not to love her, because she's just the, like, equal amount of, like, toughness and at this every time the Joker rejects her, your heart breaks, and she's super attractive. So it's like every time the Joker rejects her, literally I watched some of the episodes again that I watched when I was a kid of Batman the Animated Series, and I didn't realize that she was literally coming on to him at some points, and because of my innocence I didn't get that when I was a kid, but then I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, like she's literally coming on to him and he's rejecting her.
Ahem.
Go away, I'm busy.
Oh, come on, Puddin'. Don't you want to rev up your Harley? Vroom, vroom.
He must be insane and incredibly self-absorbed if he can't recognize that hot person in front of him. So yeah, Joker is definitely insane. But I like that Harley shows that the Joker isn't capable of selflessly devoting himself to one person or even caring about one person, because Harley is so lovable, you'd have to be insane not to care about her. But it also shows how incredibly charming he is. And what upsets me is I'll look at these clips on YouTube and stuff, and I'll see in the comment section of girls saying, oh, I wish I had a Joker. And I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, like, no, you don't want a Joker. I'd be watching Harley and the Joker, and I'd see these, like, sensitive moments where they're about to, like, kiss or about to, the cuddly, and there's part of me that just wishes that moment was legitimate and real, because, oh man, Harley's feelings. But you know that the Joker does not care about her, that he's only using her. No one has any value. He's a true nihilist. He can't even have romantic relationships.
Happy anniversary, Mr. J. You're really swell and okay. It's 7 years to the day. Take the night off. Let's play.
Harley.
Wanna try some of my pie?
Harley.
I'm sure you'll want seconds.
Harley, I'm not in the party mood. If you really want to make me happy... Find the plagiarist who's been stealing my act!
What makes Batman and the Joker such a great duo, and why this story has been told over and over and over again, is it's not linear like other stories. Most stories follow this, like, start and end type story. Comics aren't usually like that, though, because they've been going on for a long time. I mean, Batman and the Joker have been going on for a long time. But the thing about Batman and Joker storyline is it's linear. It's a very Aurora Borealis, I hope I'm saying that right, type story. It's a very yin and yang type story. And I know I'm not an expert in Eastern religion. I do know a little bit about it, but from a storytelling perspective, the figure of yin and yang, if you haven't ever seen that before, it's a figure of a circle, and I'll put like a little picture right there, with one side is white and one side is black, and in the black side there's a white dot, and in the white side there's a black dot. And what this is about is it shows that this is a perspective that looks at the world as a continuous cycle, that the universe goes in a continuous cycle and there's no beginning or end. For many religions, for many Western religions, especially Islam, Christianity, Judaism, there is a sense of there's an apocalypse story where there seems to be kind of an end, or an end to the Earth storyline. But for the yin and yang story, it's something that keeps going on over and over and over again, and it's a cycle that does not break, because as long as good exists, bad will exist. As long as evil exists, good will exist. And there's a little bit of bad in the good. I mean, there's a little bit of characteristics from the bad, and there's a little bit of the characteristics from the good. And the reason why this works, the reason why this is important to the Batman storyline, is that I've heard so many people, so many comic critics, so many nerds, fellow nerds say that the Joker Batman story is a cyclic story. It's a yin and yang story. That Batman and the Joker have a very yin and yang type relationship. And I've heard many critics say they can't explain it. They don't know what makes it. And I think it's quite simple. It's the fact that, not that there's anything, you know, that necessarily says that bats and clowns are polar. It's not that. It's the fact that the Batman and the Joker are very similar, but very different. Now, let's look at their similarities. Let's look at what makes a little bit of the good and a little bit of the bad. That little speck in the yin and yang. Batman and Joker had very similar origins. Think about it. Batman began, and Joker points this out in The Killing Joke. He says, I bet there's one event in your life that made you who you were. Just like there was an event in my life that made me who I am. In Batman's life, it was injustice that made him rise up and say, I need to fight injustice. It was witnessing his parents being killed and witnessing the decaying of Gotham. He said someone needs to step in and someone needs to execute justice. And it was justice. It was Batman chasing the Joker before he became the Joker, or Jack White or whoever he was before. It was Batman chasing him down and essentially causing that accident. Whether or not Batman intended it, I mean, he definitely would not have intended that to happen, but he caused the accident that caused the Joker to be Joker. So justice was the reason why Joker was who he was. And injustice is what made Batman who he is. And so the Joker rose up and said, hey, I am going to execute injustice because justice made me who I am. And Batman said, I'm going to try to execute justice as much as I can because injustice made me who I am. So they're very much alike. They're both very intelligent. They're both very good at accomplishing their goals in different ways and very durable. And they match each other in their persistence of their goals. Now, Batman must be who he is. This is why they're a yin and yang type relationship. Bruce Wayne, Batman will never vary from his personality. He'll never vary from who he is, and Joker will never vary from who he is. The difference between the Joker and Batman can be very poetically summed up in one of my favorite scenes in The Dark Knight. When Batman interrogates the Joker, Batman asks the Joker why he's trying to kill him. Joker responds, "Why would I want to kill you? You complete me." This is why Joker and Batman can exist together. Batman's one rule is that he cannot kill. Batman allows the chase that Joker finds so hilarious to continue because of this one rule. It allows the Joker to continue his cycle of escaping Arkham Asylum and creating more chaos. This is a philosophical answer to one of the world's hardest questions. If good exists, why does bad exist? If there is a God, then why does he allow Satan to do bad things? In this universe, it is because good cannot be bad. Killing would be the sin that would corrupt Batman. He would no longer be Batman. The Bat and the Clown complete each other because they sustain each other. In this scene, Joker does find a loophole though, a way to force Batman to break his one rule by making him choose who lives, Harvey or Rachel. Then, he lies about the location so that Batman accidentally saves Harvey. Bane may have broken the Bat's back, but before that, Joker broke the Bat's spirit. It took him 10 years to recover from this tragedy. Because Batman is who he is, and because Joker is who he is, Batman will always refrain from killing the Joker, and the Joker will always escape from confinement. So he'll escape from confinement, and then Batman will chase him down, and then put him back into confinement, and then the Joker will escape from confinement, and then it's the whole cycle goes over again and again and again. And that is why the story has been successfully told for so many years, and I believe will be continued to be told, because Batman and the Joker oppose each other so much, but they complete each other. As Heath Ledger famously said in his great line as the Joker, "You complete me." And I'm going to have to end this video with an audio of the Joker singing to Batman and Batman Arkham City. So I do want to discuss the end of Batman Arkham City. So if you haven't seen that, I will try to put a little skip, or I might be near the end anyways, but I'll put a little link right here so you can skip that spoiler. In Arkham City, the Joker actually, hopefully you're not listening to the spoilers now, plug your ears, actually dies. And I really liked the way they did this because it showed how tragic his death was. I mean, the Batman picked up the Joker and carried him out instead of carrying out his girlfriend. I mean, he was like, okay, forget you, Talia, I'm gonna carry the Joker, because the Joker meant more to him. I thought that was hilarious, but I like that the last moment between Batman and the Joker is the Joker tries to get the antidote for the toxin that's killing him from Batman, and he breaks it on accident, and it had to be some type of accident to result in Joker's death, because Batman would never kill the Joker. But as the Joker is dying, Batman says, "You know what's funny? I would have given you that antidote because it's who I am. I would have given it to you, and I wouldn't have watched you die." And Joker's response is so perfect. He says, "Now that's funny," and he laughs as he's dying, and he dies with a big smile on his face, which even in his death, he was so the Joker. He was so himself, and I just loved that. So, you know, I thought that was a good way to end him. Like, I don't know what other Joker is there out there. Like, how are they gonna top Arkham City, and how are they gonna top The Dark Knight, because those were so darn good. But I do have hope that there's going to be some awesome Jokers out there, and there's going to be more great stories to tell. Do read this book. Do read The Killing Joke. It's very, very good, especially if you have a taste for the sinister stories. But yes, that is all. Thank you so much for watching this entire thing. You were awesome if you watched the entire thing. And remember to subscribe to me if you want to see some more Batman and Joker vids from me. Thank you so much. Remember to comment and like this video. And I should go.
You're my dream come true, my one and only you.
So I'm of course reviewing BioShock Infinite today. In BioShock Infinite, you play as Booker DeWitt, who is a former Pinkerton agent, and you are given the task to rescue Elizabeth from a tower in a floating city called Columbia.